You ready for the weekend? We're getting ready. Some classic comedy from a classic comedian still going incredibly strong.
Because stuff happening to white folks don't happen to nobody else. It does. I live in Southern California, and 2 people were mauled by mountain lions. And I knew right away they wasn't black people. Because we don't hike.
That's a little throwback DL Hughley for you, and now he's coming here to Las Vegas. The show is this Saturday night as he returns to the Pearl Concert Theater at Palms Casino Resort. Tickets are on sale now for the man who makes quite an impression in everything he does. TV, movies, radio, 2 New York Times bestsellers. He's here to make an impression on ARC Las Vegas. DL Hughley, kind enough to join me live here this morning. Sir, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate that, man.
I know you've been doing this a long time. I won't date you here, but I think like early 90s.
Really early 90s.
I kind of want to know.
So early 90s. Yeah, really early 90s.
How much has changed for you? Like, what's the biggest lesson you've learned with your stand-up comedy?
That everything changes. I think the same lessons you learn. I mean, it's just like, it's not separate apart from life. I think that as a society, we pretend to be more evolved than we are, and I think that we've lost what I would call our sense of irony. Like, it's hilarious to me that I heard the acting director of ICE, and he was talking about why the agents wear masks, and it's funny because they didn't need a mask to arrest Pablo Escobar, but they do need a mask to arrest Pablo the gardener. Like I don't understand why you wear masks to arrest the housekeeping crew. Are maids really that devious? I don't get it. So I think we've lost our sense of irony, but that makes it better for me. One of the things about comedy these days, and one of the things about us as a society these days, I think that we've never needed more distractions, and I think one of the great things about comedy is ultimately it's a distraction, and like a lot of things we do, and I think I'm excited to still be able to get to do it at this level, and it's just so much fun to me. Now, like I said, we lost our sense of irony, but that's what we're here to do.
Well, I'm curious about that because you do go on, you talk, you don't shy away from politics on your social media, you don't shy away from politics on your radio show. Anything off limits to you on stage these days?
I don't think there's anything off. I mean, like somebody said before, like you can talk about anything. I think you have to be, as long as it's funny and as long as people get the point. I would never try to be cruel, but I don't think that there's anything that I can think of right now that I would think was off limits. I think that you have to be, I think you have to have a clear viewpoint, and I think ultimately you have to be willing to take the slings and arrows that come with an opinion. But I don't think anything's off limits.
I know you've been doing this a long while. You're one of the original kings of comedy, that famous foursome. You, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac. How often do people stop you on the street and ask you about that group? Like, what do they ask you about the lasting legacy?
You know, that's been so long ago, but it's one of those things that's really resonated with people. I don't care where I am. I remember when Europe or China, walking down the streets here, there's not more than a few days to go by when somebody doesn't mention it. And certainly every time when I'm at a show, somebody will invariably bring a DVD to sign. You know, when you sign a DVD, you've been around a long time. If I ever get to sign an 8-track, then that'll be worse. But if you ever get to sign a DVD, so I think it was one of those cultural moments that imbued itself in the country's psyche, and I was really glad to be a part of it.
You still proud of it? All these years later?
Very proud of it. It's not something I think about all the time. You know, it's like one of those things, like when somebody talks about it, you do. But it was such an indelible part of my life that it is. I'm very proud of it, and it's something I look back at with fond memories.
Coming here to Las Vegas, the Pearl Concert Theater at Palms Casino Resort this coming Saturday, by the way. For anyone who wants to go check it out, go get those tickets, palms.com/entertainment, or you can get them at axs.com. Is Las Vegas funny? I'm curious. I don't know how many trips you've made here over the years. Do you find the city funny?
A ton. But you know what's funny? Las Vegas is really, like I grew up in L.A., so a lot of people from L.A. go to Las Vegas. So it's really just Los Angeles is what it is. But I think it used to, now it's so touristy now. Like, so I like to go to the places that locals go. But I think Las Vegas is funny because all the people there like you can see people change. As soon as Vegas is one of those places you land to become somebody else. That you want to meet them on the way back when they've lost money or some amount of self-esteem.
The emotions change. The emotions change for sure. That's an absolute there on the trip in versus the trip out.
Right. So it's so different. Yeah.
What can people expect with this upcoming show, DL?
Well, I'm gonna make like I always do. I think you'll expect to see a kind of a lot of current events, a lot of what's going on, a lot of things in the news, and I'm gonna make people laugh till they hurt themselves. That's the one thing I know I can promise is to make people think and laugh and have a good time.
We know you make people think. You can connect with DL on social media. You see all the platforms there, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.